This is Pass the Rock.
Hey, Coach, Fight Club. Hey,
And
Coach.
now it's time for everybody's favorite off-season football segment, Coach Fight Club AFC West Edition. Now,
More life. Oh wait, sorry.
remember,
We
Kendrick
can't.
Lamar said, "Never say more life."
Yeah, we don't like.
Well, he said that to Drake. He didn't say that to you. Let's look at our combatants here. Bethke, you did me a favor by getting the measurements, the ages for these guys. So let's start off with our two combatants here. In the 1 versus 4 seed, we have Andy Reid and Jim Harbaugh. Now, we've talked about this off camera. Andy Reid probably stands at about 6'1", well over 270 pounds.
I put 6'3" question mark because I was being nice, and then I put 300 easy on the way.
Easy, perfect. Do we have his age?
Oh, I didn't put ages. That would have been smart.
No worries. I can look that up real quick.
AF.
He is, oh my goodness, 66 years of age. And his opponent, as you saw,
60.
was Jim Harbaugh. Returning from the college ranks to take over the Los Angeles Chargers. Almost called them the San Diego
The
Chargers.
Will's Vagina
Now, he's
Chargers.
only 6. Yeah, he's only 6 years younger than Andy Reid, which is kind of crazy to me. He's only 6 years younger.
You think they've led different lifestyles?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, what we have here in the next contest is the battle of the former athlete. Well, I guess Harbaugh's also a former athlete. And a current stoner. That's right. Bong Daddy, Sean Payton against Antonio Pierce of the Las Vegas Raiders. Sean Payton representing the Broncos, of course, for our listening audience who did not see the graphic.
And of course, we also have to further explain some of these guys. So, you have some vision impairment issues with one coach. Occasionally, there's decisions to be made there. You got another coach that maybe can't see very well. Kind of gets all up in the camera.
Look at those crazy eyes, man. Look at those crazy eyes. It's not that he can't see. I think he's just seeing something completely different from what we're seeing.
Who's got it better than them? Pretty much anyone with eyesight. Better than that. And then we got Antonio Pierce, who I'm not exactly sure what Antonio Pierce was doing, but this is head coach of the Vegas Raiders. Good thing it's Vegas that he's the head coach of.
Probably 3 chicks at the same time is what he's doing.
That makes that.
I think you need $1 million to do that.
Yeah, a thing. And then Sean Payton, who also seems to be enjoying himself, although these people are much more fortunate to not be involved in this picture long term. Sean Payton still very much is, and he looks like he's having quite a night showing off his ring. This looks like it's at least 60 pounds ago, though. Might have been right after he added that to his finger. So,
and he's clearly not partaking in the recreational activities of Denver.
No, and it's also important to note that Andy Reid was once, but now he's scientific. Yeah,
scientific indeed. Now, gentlemen, what? Why? Why? All right. I'm not gonna lie. I've been very excited for this matchup, or for this particular division. All right, last year was pretty fun, if I remember correctly. This year, we have 2 new coaches, obviously, in Antonio Pierce and Jim Harbaugh. I'm going to go ahead and say that the most fun matchup, I'm going to say for last. I'm going to kick things off with the 1 versus 4, and that is Andy Reid, Jim Harbaugh. We are going. All right, we are going to spin the wheel. All right. This wheel is going to determine the fight that we have, and we'll see what comes up. Now, let me see if I can just get this bitch to come up. Wheel of names. Here we go. All right. The wheel says, oh, shit. This is it. That's right, baby. We get yet another pro wrestling bout.
Fuck.
Oh man, this is gonna be
You
great.
picked it.
It's been rigged. The shit's been rigged. Oh man, Wrestling Royale. Check us out for more wrestling content. Right, I guess I'm gonna kick things off. Now, this is a name that you two gentlemen should be familiar with since we were all exposed to the Attitude Era of WWE. The Big Red Machine Kane. Well, now we have the Big Red Machine Andy Reid.
Slightly different body types, but
they're both billed at over 300 pounds. How they carry that weight certainly is different. And then we have Jim Harbaugh. He's a former athlete himself, a former quarterback. He even made a Pro Bowl once for the Colts, I think, and the Chargers. And let's see, he's no slouch either. Listen, he seems like he's pretty decent shape for a 60-year-old man who's, working like 13-hour days as a head coach. He's listed at 6'3". You look at Andy Reid. Clearly, with age, he's shrunken just a little bit, right? In his heyday, though, Harbaugh, 6'3", 215 is his officially listed weight. So how would this fight go? Well, first and foremost, let me tell you this. I'm using this because I got two. Now I have one. I'm getting my primetime rewind in, baby.
Whoa!
I'm using it.
Kick?
I am getting pass, punting, kick. Andy Reid.
yeah,
All right. You see that? You see that? That is a stallion. That's a stud
12 years
of a
old
human
there.
being. All right. So before he makes his entrance to the ring, he is hit by magic lightning bolt that puts him back into his prime self. He's no longer 66 years of age. All right. He's now, I don't know, what is he, like 21 in that photo?
12.
21.
You
Right,
just picked the 12-year-old. You just picked the 12-year-old is what you did.
Well, no, I'm picking BYU then. I'm picking BYU Andy Reid.
You
That's
picked
the prime.
12-year-old.
That's the prime.
You picked a 12-year-old.
No, I did not. No, did he?
He's still bigger than Jim Harbaugh, probably. So,
All right, and probably stronger too. But yeah, I'm going with like I said, this turns them into the prime of their life. So the prime of his life is Andy Reid back in college when he was a BYU offensive lineman. All right, so that's what we're getting. We're getting a Big Red Machine in his youth. He comes out and he's wearing the Kane outfit. And we're talking 1998, the full body suit, red mask. Comes out with a blaze of inferno. There's his team cheering him on. You have Patrick Mahomes. You have Travis Kelce in the front row. You got what's his fucking face? Chris Jones. All right.
is
You have
Rashi
all
Rice
these
there?
guys. No, he's in jail at this point. Allegedly. Anyway, he comes down to the ring. Now, as he's making his entrance, he lifts up his arms to do the Kane fire pyrotechnics, but instead of flames, it's cheeseburgers. Don't ask me how, but the ring is filled with cheeseburgers. And now comes his opponent, Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh comes out to what kind of music? What do you think he would come out to? I'll tell you what I think he comes out to. All right, he's gonna come out to the University of Michigan fight song. All right, there is no aura, there's no hype to this man's entrance, but there is a crazy look in his eyes. Because have you ever seen this man's eyes? Look at it. Look at those eyes.
Look at him.
All right, he's not all there. Now this match is a no disqualification match. All right, bell rings. These two men meet right in the middle of the ring, and we have a young, in shape Andy Reid. He's absolutely laying the smack down to Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh, he got that dog in him though, so he might be a little bit older, but you know what? This man has no quit in him. All right, when things were tough at Michigan, when he was on the verge of getting fired for not being able to beat Ohio State, what did he do? He kept going. He kept pursuing. So as Andy Reid keeps just punching him down and punching him down, slam after slam, Jim Harbaugh looks at him with those crazy eyes. He's like, "Thank you. Can I have another?" So what does he do? Andy Reid grabs him by the neck, throws him over the ring, and then he looks at his boys right there in the front row, and he's like, "Give me your rings. Give me your rings." Puts on a Super Bowl ring in each finger, balls up his fists, and he waits. He waits for Jim Harbaugh to get up, and then nails him right in the face, serving as like a brass knuckles type deal. Harbaugh busted open, bleeding. The crowd is cheering for him to keep going. He got the crowd behind him. They want to see the underdog. But unfortunately, just like what's going to happen in the AFC West division this year, Jim Harbaugh just doesn't stand a chance against Andy Reid. Andy Reid throws him back into the ring, sets him up for a choke slam. 1, 2, 3. It's done. Big Red wins. Lightning bolt strikes him. He's back to being old, but doesn't matter. He's our winner. I am down 1 primetime rewind. That's who I have winning in my scenario. Gentlemen, please continue. Becky, go on and tell us how you see this wrestling match going.
So I like where you've got a little wrestling match here between two different heavyweights. What was the what was the gentleman who used to wear a skirt and sit on people's faces? Rikishi. So naturally, Andy Reid is Rikishi. I don't really know what. I already used Ken Shamrock. I already pulled that one out of my ass. He feels
Roddy Piper.
Roddy Piper, is that who Jim Harbaugh could most resemble in this situation? Because I feel like if Ric Flair was a brunette or whatever, or had black hair, I could see it being more Ric Flair. But they're both very erratic. It feels like there's cocaine use, even if there's not. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. Like I feel like maybe Ric Flair with dyed hair. Did Ric Flair ever have black hair? Was it always?
I don't think so. I think he's naturally blonde. Because even in old age, his hair looks like his children are blonde, all that shit.
Yeah, he probably is. So that's the way I see this fight going. And it's going to be a great event. All the family members are there. You know what I mean? All of them. Jim's in the corner. He's fighting, or John's in the corner. Like Jim was for him when they were having the boxing fight. Brothers got to stay together. It's not a tag team though. We're keeping this fair. He's just there for his moral support. Well, dad too, old man sitting there. They're all having a good time. All the Reeds are there. Britt Reed's not there. He hasn't made it.
Oh no! You killed Caesar with that joke. Uh-oh. You think he kicked his server out again? No, there he is.
No. I accidentally closed the tab. Don't ask me how.
Oh, okay. You were trying to do some research.
Yes.
So yeah, everybody's having a great fight. This is, high production WWE, back and forth. Who's going to win? Everybody's excited. Everyone's on the edge of their seat. But what happens? Oh no, out of nowhere, a car comes flying into the arena. Oh no! He comes flying in. Oh, it's Britt. Britt's here just in time. Oh no. He's hit somebody. Who's under the wheel? It's dear old Daddy Andy. He should have told Britt no. He should have stopped him.
So Harbaugh wins.
All right. So Harbaugh wins by wait, isn't it? Is there disqualifications in this, or is there no?
No, Andy Reid's son ran him over. It's not Harbaugh's fault.
I mean, that's interference. It sounds like.
No, I'm sorry.
Well, the other competitor can't fight again, so.
Yeah, it's
all right. It's 1-1 with Patrick B.
Yeah.
I know more about celebrity deathmatch than I do wrestling, so they're going to fuse.
That's fair. And you can still use that as your foundation for this scenario.
I'm seeing Andy Reid comes out and he's wearing like old school wrestler leotard.
Nice.
But it's like bedazzled and red. And Harbaugh comes out, khakis, polo, glasses, and a briefcase. They actually have a pretty good go of it. Harbaugh getting some shots in with the briefcase. Andy Reid getting some farts to the face of Harbaugh. And Andy Reid's about to pin him out, get the countdown right at 2. What's that? It's John Harbaugh comes running in to save his brother. And after he does that and they do the good thing where they stare at each other a bit, all of a sudden, oh no, who's that? It's Mike Tomlin coming to take out John Harbaugh. And then, oh my God, who is it now? It's Kevin Stefanski, but everyone just laughs at him and he leaves. And then, amidst all the chaos, we go back to just our 2 main fighters again. And obviously, Andy Reid just pounds the shit out of whichever Harbaugh he's in the ring with. I think it's Jim. Yeah, and Reid's gonna win.
Reid wins by pounding the shit out of Jim Harbaugh.
Lots of powerful farts.
No Diddy. No contest. Just hands.
We have instant reaction. Reaction. Absolute stuff.
Yeah, he ran out of cocaine and
We're absolutely stuck.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. Here is the next fight, and it is going to be the 2 and 3 seed. It is the Raiders Antonio Pierce against Sean Payton of the Denver Broncos.
pull the graphic
Now-
down so no one sees where I messed it up.
No, you did perfect.
What am I missing here?
Fine.
All right. Now, let's go to the tail of the tape. Bethke, do you have any information on Antonio Pierce written down?
Do you want his height and weight?
Yeah, do you have any of that?
Looks
Yeah,
like
sorry,
he hangs
I
out
closed
at
the
restaurants.
I have that for you. So Antonio Pierce is a 6'1", 238, age 45-year-old man. Sean Payton is 5'11", 200 pounds, and is 60 years old.
Thank you. It just sounds to me like Sean Payton is at a very clear disadvantage in this fight. But
Yeah, in multiple ways, I would say.
yes, but he is well known for putting hits out on the field and possibly off the field for his bounty gate bullshit. Now, granted, he did have a fall man for that. But
Gotta have fall guy. Shout out Chris Carter.
you always got to have a fall guy. But you know what? We peep game here. We're locked in. We know the truth. We know what kind of man this guy is. How does that affect the fights? Let's find out. I'm going to spin the wheel, and we're going to find out just what is. Wait, are you spinning the wheel before I spin the wheel?
I just want it noted, I've spun the wheel 0 times tonight, actually. So that-
All right. You are very fortunate that I was trying to rig it to be a bar fight. On
Oh,
my
this is not good.
but it didn't come out the bar fight in this one. So fuck it. We're gonna make this a bar fight because where else would these two guys meet other than at the field? Now, look at this. Look at that. You look
Different
at this.
kinds of bars. Different kinds of bars. That looks a little more club scene, high profile. This
Look at that bar.
It has
This
a
is Lucky
Keystone
Luke's.
Light sign.
That's Lucky Luke's right there.
Is that? I'd say that's more like what's the one across the street from Lucky Lou's?
Cool beans.
No, honestly, that's one of those. That's the bar that our alumni owned.
Cool
It doesn't
beans.
exist anymore. That's the lab right
The lab. Oh God.
there. Patrick's been to the lab.
I've been there
That's
one
awesome.
time.
That's there you go, Denton. There's your fucking niche reference. The lab.
All right.
Patrick,
So-
our alumni own that. We used to host parties there. What a place. What a place. Anyway, continue.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to allow Patrick to actually hit leadoff on this one.
Ooh.
You
All
tell
right.
me, Patrick. I'm going to go second, and then Bethke will hit cleanup.
Sure. So we got 2 guys sitting at the bar. This is probably gonna sound similar to the last bar fight we had, I think. Antonio Pierce, he's having fun, but he's kind of minding his own business. And all of a sudden, someone bumps into him. And Antonio Pierce, being a nice guy, just says, "Excuse me." And then that guy turns around and says, "Do you know who I am?" Antonio Pierce is like, "Oh, hey, Sean, what's up?" "No, I'm Sean Payton." And it pretty much proceeds like that until Sean Payton gets mad because he doesn't understand human language being spoken to him at a first grade level, at least. And eventually starts pushing Antonio Pierce. And Antonio Pierce is trying to be a cool guy about it. But Sean Payton, he's hammered, he's drunk, he's high. He takes a swing, completely misses and falls down. And Antonio Pierce just walks away the winner.
It's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
Sean Payton beat himself. That's the joke there.
Yeah, no. There's an onside kick joke?
No, because that worked.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead then, and I'm going to kind of paint you guys a picture. All right. Now this is probably happening like the last bar fight scenario that I had. This happened in Indianapolis. All right, where all the coaches are gathered for the combine. Now, Antonio Pierce walks into the bar. Sean Payton's already been there. Matter of fact, Sean Payton's been there since the bar opened. He did not spend 1 minute at the draft combine or at the NFL combine. He knew who he was taking from the moment the season was over. He's like, I'm gonna fucking take Bo Nix. I don't give a fuck. And then he took a massive bong rip. Now, they are going to do some drug tests. So he's been switching to alcohol, right? So he's just pounding PBRs. He strikes me as a guy who just drinks PBRs.
Well, I mean, I did find evidence of him being at a bar that might only sell two kinds of beer. Oh, you want that fancy stuff? Oh, I think we keep a case of Bud Light in the back. Hold on.
All right. Well, there we go. We're just gonna go ahead and say this man's been down in PBRs from about let's say 11 o'clock to about the time Antonio Pierce walks in. He walks in around 7 p.m. This man is absolutely hammered. Antonio Pierce sees his future, rival head coach and says, "Hey, man, good to see you. How you been?" Sean Payton's like, "Who the fuck are you?"
I would too if someone barked at me.
Right? And it's like, "Get the fuck out of here. You know who the fuck I am?" Just like in Patrick's scenario. But here's the thing. Sean Payton has shooters. All right? Sean Payton has shooters.
Oh, no. Did he get Darren Sharper out just for this?
Darren Sharper's in the bar. All right? The entire 2011 Saints Bounty Gate team.
Caesar, do you know where Darren Sharper is right now?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, it's probably best that we don't cover that subject, but he's incarcerated.
That's okay. No. I thought you meant like what prison he was in. It's like I knew he was in prison.
Okay. Yeah. The joke is he's in prison. The joke is not about what he's in prison for. I just want that to be clear.
No, right, not at all.
Let's move forward.
Yeah. Thank you for clarifying that and clean that up. Now, anyway, Sean Payton is like, "What are you gonna do? Huh? I can put a hit on you right now." But Antonio Pierce, he got the shooter too. Now, granted,
Henry Ruggs.
this shooter's aim has been real bad, and it got him lost for like 2 seasons. But Plaxico Burress is outside. Antonio Pierce, because people forget, Antonio Pierce is who drove Plaxico Burress to the hospital.
Oh, shit, I didn't remember that. I knew he was on that team. I did not remember that he was that connected.
That's right. But this time, Plaxico Burress, his aim is true. He busts into the bar. He has that bitch sideways, and he is just pointing at everybody. He's like, "You let these two men fight one-on-one."
Hey, we know one thing about Plaxico. He was ready to go.
He was ready to go. And so he is what's keeping this a fair bar fight. Sean Payton breaks the glass and just tries to immediately just slash at Antonio Pierce. Antonio Pierce, well, let's be real. He hasn't had anything to drink yet. Totally in his right mind. Dodge. Another dodge. What does he do? He just shoulder tackles him right into the ground, starts pounding on him. But they said, "Fuck it. There's only one of Plaxico and a bunch of us. So what happens? This is what happens. Somebody bites the bullet, and as Plaxico goes to shoot one of them, what happens? Accidentally shoots his leg again.
Oh, he cheddar bobs
Knocks
himself.
Yep. Cheddar bots himself, goes on the ground, just like, ah, ah. And Antonio Pierce, unfortunately, as he's about to get mobbed, like he's about to get mobbed by everybody else. But he's like, you know what? I'm gonna take this motherfucker with me. So as they go to gang up on him, Antonio Pierce uses Sean Payton as a human shield. And so all the fists are flying. Sean Payton's getting a couple hits in there. Antonio Pierce is also getting hit. And unfortunately, the number game catches up to both of them. It's a double TKO, the first ever tie in a fight. Bethke, it's up to you to determine. Actually, no. I don't think you can determine. This would be a tie all the way around. Never mind.
You have to make a decision.
You're right, because you could go Sean Payton, and that's the only way. Or no, sorry, you could go Antonio Pierce, which I think you might. I don't know.
And then it would just be
I'd be forcing you. Never mind. So as the fight's continuing, as they're getting beaten up, the bar manager gets everybody cleared out. They're both beaten up and bloody. But guess what? Sean Payton's old, drunk, and is taking a couple of good shots, not just from Antonio Pierce, but from his own team. As he tries to stand up, he slips on beer. $1 Million Babies himself. Breaks his neck. Antonio Pierce gets helped out. He is the winner by default.
All right. Antonio Pierce is the winner then.
Of this one, yes. But
okay.
As is tradition, we have to hear what the final man's scenario would be.
Well, I like to just make this one quick because we've already got a winner, but I want to make it fun. What's the movie where someone rips off someone's arms and then starts beating them with them? Because that's how I'd see. That's how I would see Antonio Pierce. Antonio Pierce would just go and pop those arms off Sean Payton and just start whacking him with a and then he's done.
In the bar?
Yeah, in the bar.
All right, but does anything lead up to
this? There was no provoking it. It was just, he just walked up to him, didn't like the look, didn't like the cut of his lingo, and fucking ripped his arms off and started beating him. Simple as that. Could happen to anybody.
There you go.
There were 4 stories like that happened 2 weeks ago.
There's a line in Varsity Blues where someone says, "I'll rip your arms off and beat you to death with them."
No, Varsity. That one's a good. Maybe I've just heard that joke enough because of Varsity Blues. Living in Texas means you've probably heard a lot of.
It might be in the original Judge Dredd, but it might take me some time to do some more research.
Anyway, doesn't matter.
Right. Doesn't matter because now you have Andy Reid, Antonio Pierce. Winner advances. Loser goes to the losers bracket, of course. What is the scenario for this fight? Let's find out. Right now. The wheel is spinning. The wheel is spinning. And oh my goodness. This seems like it could possibly happen in real life. The wheel says this.
Does it say drive-through?
Nope. Fight on the field, baby.
Oh.
That's right. So, what leads
I like at the drive-through.
At the drive-through. I don't think I have that written down as a scenario. So, but that would be funny. Now, how does this happen? How did these two guys end up fighting on the field during the middle of the game? I'll tell you how.
They're both coaching football. They both coach football. That's the answer.
That's
yeah,
true.
But so does Mike McDaniel.
Now, let's go into this. What's happening in this game to cause this? Well, I'll tell you what. All right. The Kansas City Chiefs are beating down on the Vegas Raiders in Arrowhead Stadium. It is 34-7, and the starters are still out. Antonio Pierce calls a timeout, and he's walking towards midfield, and he's calling down Andy Reid to meet him there. He's like, "What the fuck is your problem?" All right. Max Crosby's out behind this guy. Chris Jones is out behind this guy. They're trying to hold their coaches back. They're like, listen, we're trying to get out of here. All right. There's always the next game. And Antonio Pierce and Andy Reid are not having any of it. Andy Reid is telling you, you listen here. Me and my 17 wives will not appreciate this disrespect. For anybody that doesn't understand why I said 17 wives, just look up where he went to college and where he grew up. Just so you know. All right.
I actually didn't realize that situation.
Yes.
Well, or that church got rid of polygamy in like the early 1800s, mid
Who
1800s.
cares?
That one I knew, but I honestly didn't realize his ties. I guess that's what I really didn't know or didn't think about that much going into it. And I was like, BYU, what the fuck is going on here? Anyway,
That's right. So, Andy Reid's looking at Antonio Pierce. He's showing him his rings. Antonio Pierce got a ring of his own, all right? He's like, yeah, doesn't matter if this shit was fluky or not. And these men just throw down their playbooks and immediately just start beating on each other. Now, Andy Reid, he has the height and weight advantage. He's just trying to sit his weight down on Antonio Pierce. But Antonio Pierce, he digs in. He's still kind of, athletic. He was still a pretty strong linebacker for his size. And what does he do? He just picks up Andy Reid just enough to double leg take him down and just starts beating on poor Andy Reid. Chris Jones tries to get him off of him, but Max Crosby pulls out a blunt, takes a big old whew, and then immediately starts fighting Chris Jones. All right, now it's all chaos. The Chiefs are out on midfield. The Raiders are out on midfield. They're beating the hell out of each other. For whatever reason, Patrick Mahomes, his younger brother, is on the field. He gets taken out.
Ooh, the spirit of Al Davis.
The spirit of Al Davis is there.
Yes.
Spirit of Al Davis actually comes out of his son's body. All right?
Okay.
It's like, well, it's time to win, baby. And he goes after Clark Hunt. That's right. You have a ghost choking out the shit out of Clark Hunt.
Ghost on Ghost, or yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
Lamar Hunt is the one.
Lamar, yeah. No, Lamar was the dad.
Yeah. But Lamar Hunt's not here. Lamar Hunt's actually lost somewhere in the Cotton Bowl Stadium. His ghost just can't leave that place for whatever reason.
Bringing in that new women's soccer team.
His ghost didn't know.
His ghost didn't know. No.
Is that really what they're putting there, though? Is that
No.
official? Oh, beautiful. Is it nasal? Whatever.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, that's fucking awesome. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah. So this has been all out. This is just an all-out mess. But Roger Goodell just so happens to be there. He tries to run down the field to try to get everybody to just get back to the sidelines and finish the game. But guess what? Andy Reid's son has a passenger with him. His name's Rashee Rice. They accidentally take out Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell is just done. He's out. No more commissioner.
Does that make Jerry Jones the commissioner of the NFL?
Absolutely not.
He doesn't want that job.
Nobody wants that.
Who takes over?
Adam
Silver
Wright.
gets his promotion.
Adam
Silver.
Adam Silver, yeah.
Adam Silver's just they call
Yeah.
him up from the big. All right, it's time to run the NFL. Trust me, your experience working with the NBA will translate perfectly. It's the same thing. Trust me, dude. Trust me.
Go out there, get booed, cash a check.
Now Ed Hockley's the head official for this fight or for this football game, and he finally just manages to get Andy Reid and Antonio Pierce to get their guys off to the other side, but they're like, we have to finish this right here, right now.
Right.
And so what happens? Andy Reid tries to run Antonio Pierce, but we know that man does not have the stamina to run. Antonio Pierce still has just enough and lands in one final clubbing blow to knock down Big Old Red. He advances. In my scenario, Antonio Pierce, you've won this chaotic fight on the field. Gentlemen, what say you?
I feel like Patrick's going to either way be. Oh wait! All right, one more time.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Got off there.
No, we're-
Okay.
All right, there we go.
I don't know who goes first still, though.
You can go first.
Okay. What was our scenario? Fight on the field.
Fight on the field.
So in this hypothetical world, we're going to pretend like the Raiders are actually in the AFC title game against the Chiefs in Kansas City.
Hey, coming soon, bro. Gardner Minshew, you heard it here first.
Yeah. And
I'm ready for
blah,
hot
blah,
take
blah,
season, baby.
Tuck rule, blah, blah, blah. Patrick Mahomes gets his head taken off. Everyone's fighting. It's a fucking full-on brawl in the field. And all of a sudden, you see a path kind of clearing up into a circle. And the two men step forward. And it's Andy Reid. And it's Antonio Pierce, right? Yeah. And they're circling each other. Almost sumo style.
Oh, fuck.
And then Andy Reid has a heart attack and dies. And Antonio Pierce wins.
Fuck.
Fuck. Why you had to do that to poor old Red like that?
Well, that was very abrupt, but I appreciate it. You
I
know, for
didn't
me,
have much for fight on the field.
for me, there was only one way two juggernauts of the gridiron could actually battle it out on the field in ways that football men would respect.
They're doing Oklahoma drills against each other.
Oklahoma drill. No pads. Going until last person with a partially intact spinal cord wins. The bout is fast. It is abundant. There are many a blows. There's at one point, you remember the Walking Dead? Any of y'all have ever seen the Walking Dead when Glenn gets his ass beat in his head?
Yeah.
And his head like caved in, and he's like, "Fight me," to his wife and shit. Yeah, that's exactly how Andy Reid's looking at one point. Shit's ugly. They've been smashing into each other for hours at this point. It's like a fucking Dragon Ball Z fight. We're just back and forth. They're both mutants at this point, just pastes of men barely standing up to ram into each other again. But finally, one final blow happens. It's Antonio Pierce that breaks. His spine completely destroyed, no longer able to stand upright. The blubber now forming a new spinal cord around Andy Reid. And the mutant Andy Reid advances in my world to reign terror on whoever is the mutant he now is. Deformed, fat, spinal, bone infused being.
All right. Well, that seals the deal on this fight. This means with 2-1, Antonio Pierce is the winner. He continues on to the winner's bracket. Andy Reid, you will get another try in the loser's bracket.
Mutant Andy Reid.
Mutant Andy Reid. It's very funny now that I see that Andy Reid is going to the loser's bracket and I wasted a primetime rewind on the first round fight. But I wanted to give my dude a chance, right? I didn't want the possibility.
You did give him a chance because, you know what I mean? You had to get him to this fight. So now he stays alive. He could have been out in round one.
It's true. I at least got him into the loser's bracket where my Andy Reid agenda could possibly continue if I play my cards right. But yeah, that concludes the Head Coach Fight Club of this week.
This is Past the Rock.